Hello. Yes, my outfit is whack, my hair is whack, and I'm in a bathtub. Now that we got that out of the way, we have more pressing matters to discuss. If I don't laugh right now, I will cry and projectile vomit. This first week of Trump's second term, all the crazy things he has done, all the chaos he's caused just in this first week alone, just 1 week after the inauguration, is it's I'll compare it to Adolf Hitler, because that's what Trump is giving. And Elon is a certified Nazi. He literally funds Germany's AfD party. He was at the rally too. He did the Nazi salute at the inauguration, not once, but twice. It's giving Nazi Germany. It's giving Adolf Hitler. It's giving very much that. But the media doesn't want to cover it. CNN, The Washington Post, NBC, they don't want to cover it.
We all saw it, right? And we all saw it happen twice.
Thank you. My heart goes out.
But what was it that we saw, according to several headlines in the mainstream media? A gesture, a hand gesture. That's all. It's kind of like calling a slur a word. While it's technically correct, you're kind of missing the main issue. This hand gesture is actually being received by white nationalists, far-right extremists, and everyone kind of in that crew as exactly what it was. They're posting memes about it. I've seen them overdubbing it with audio from the 1930s, if you catch my drift. They are critiquing his form and showing off images of themselves doing the same gesture. Everyone with eyeballs knows what it was, but the headlines look like this. Let me explain. One of the things that's drilled into you when you work in these newsrooms is that you shouldn't take at face value what you're seeing. It's the same reason you'll rarely see the media accuse someone of outright lying, because the word lying is a word that has intent behind it. It implies that someone said something knowing that it was dishonest. But when it comes to journalism, where you're striving to be as objective as possible and you want to fact check and verify everything before you report it, you have to be really careful saying anything that comes from a place of assuming a person's intent or what they're thinking and that you can't actually know.
She went on to say that Elon Musk and Republican grifters learned how to use U.S. legacy media's need to play it safe and refusal to call a spade to their advantage. They'll repeatedly not plainly state their bigotry, pass off their serious comments as satire, then say their past bigoted comments were serious, and that their current increasingly bigoted comments are just a joke. They'll sometimes hide their bigotry behind gestures and remixes of classic bigoted gestures.
CBS is getting sued for defamation by Donald Trump, so of course they also don't want to cover it.
Though I appreciate the executive producer of 60 Minutes, Bill Owens, has balls.
Listen to this. This is interesting and deeply concerning to me. Journalists and big journalistic companies should not give a fuck about this, but clearly they do. There have been reports in the media about a settlement and/or apology, Mr. Owens said, according to two people who heard his remarks. The company knows I will not apologize for anything we have done. Many Paramount executives believe a settlement would increase the odds that the Trump administration would approve a pending multi-billion-dollar merger with another company. And Sherry Redstone, Paramount's controller shareholder, supports the effort. First of all, I just found out recently that the Pentagon has all these newspapers in it
all these legacy media companies in it. My simple question is, why do they give a fuck? Like, if they're gonna be truly unbiased and be real, they should not be trying to get a merger deal with somebody running for president of the United States, especially when they report on that person. They mostly report on politics. Like, that makes no sense. Well, that makes sense if you want to be biased and you want to push a political agenda. But if you're going to tell the truth, that makes no sense. They don't want to tell the full story of anything related to Trump, really. It's driving me insane. What we're going to do, we're going to discuss. I don't know if it's going to be even half of the things Trump did in his first week in office for a second term, but we're going to discuss the ones that I know. This is just one sheet. Trump revoked a civil rights executive order from 1965. Congrats to him. He's giving Adolf Hitler. He's giving very much racist. So congrats to Trump. Trump stated that he wants to revoke birthright citizenship. He wants to revoke the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Also, he took down the Constitution from the official White House website. Also, the DOJ tried to argue in courts that Native Americans shouldn't be a part of birthright citizenship. Do they not see the irony in that statement? They don't want Native Americans to have birthright citizenship. It's crazy to me. I don't even have words. I don't have words for how crazy that is. That is just insane. How are you going to kick indigenous people out of their own land? Oh, and I don't know why Florida Representative Anna Paulina Luna is sucking Trump's dick so hard, but she proposed a bill to put Donald Trump on Mount Rushmore. What's the purpose of that? They're treating him like he's a god. These people aren't Christian. I don't know what they are. They're cult members. That's what they are. But they're not Christian. You're going to say that. How are you going to say, where are you going to move them to? Where are you going to ship them off to? First of all, actually, I know what they're going to do. I have a theory that they're going to take those Native American reservations and they're going to turn them into concentration camps. Turns out I was right. This video is like 2 to 3 weeks old, so this is a recent update. But turns out Marco Rubio recently went to Guantanamo Bay because he has an initiative to send illegal immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. In Guantanamo Bay, they tortured prisoners there. It was a torture site. People for decades have been trying to close Guantanamo Bay because of the horrific stuff that happened there. It's not a regular prison. It was a torture site for those Native Americans. I think there will be forced labor involved. I think because there is some oil in those Native American reserves, and that Biden stopped oil companies from digging in their land and taking oil from their land, including in Alaska. I think it was Alaska. I think that they don't want Native Americans to be considered birthright citizens. They don't want Native Americans to be citizens of this country anymore because they want to dig up the oil that's on their land, that's on their reservations. And if they're not citizens, then they could easily do that. Another one. Because there's a dramatic increase in ICE raids, Donald Trump wants to build 3 new
ICE detention centers that would hold 17,000 people. And these detention centers would be privately ran by companies. Essentially, they would be for profit, meaning each immigrant in those detention centers would give them moolah, would give them money. And you know that's all what Trump cares about, money. Because he's investing, I think, $200 billion or $500 billion into AI. That's what he wants to invest into. And it would only take $40 billion to solve world hunger. But what he wants to invest into is AI because he wants to mess up with our information. He doesn't want us to have accurate information. The other day, I showed my mom a video of Trump, a literal video of Trump. He was giving a speech at the White House. He was giving a press conference. My mom, she was like, no, this isn't real. This isn't real. This is AI. She's the one asking me 99% of the time if something's AI. She's the one asking me. She asked me if something's AI. But the second I show her a true video, she's saying it's AI. And another reason for me to laugh. Truly, another reason for me to laugh. All I could do is laugh at this point. Okay, what else? Another piece of irony. I'm going to preface this by saying that I told you Trump doesn't care about the troops. He does not care about veterans. He doesn't give one lick about y'all. He called y'all losers and suckers. That's what he called veterans who died at war, losers and suckers, because he didn't want to get his hair wet at a memorial service. Anyway, a veteran was arrested by ICE because he didn't have his ID on him. A veteran was arrested by ICE because he didn't have his ID. I laughed a ton. I laughed until my belly hurt when I first heard this story. We all know about the insurrectionists, the January 6ers. I'm laughing about the last story. I'm still laughing. Okay. We all know about the insurrectionist pardons, right? About how Trump pardoned the January 6ers who stormed the Capitol. So the largest police union in the United States rescinded their endorsement of Donald Trump because of that. The January 6ers assaulted multiple police officers. They killed one, gave another one brain damage, maced another one, and I saw another one being choked out by a door. Like, there was literally blood coming out of his mouth. Unfortunately, 4 Capitol police officers wound up taking their own lives due to the trauma they endured. May they rest in peace. What I don't understand is why the police endorsed him in the first place. Why did the largest police union in the country endorse Donald Trump? He always said that he thought January 6ers were innocent, that they didn't deserve to be in prison, that they should be free. He didn't want them to get any punishment. So what I'm wondering is why they thought Donald Trump backed the blue. Donald Trump never cared about the blue. He doesn't care about the police. He only cares about people who could give him money, who could give him funds. If you're not a rich white man, he does not care about you. Okay? He only cares about his bottom dollar. Why do you think he's attacking Denmark right now? Just out of the blue. It's because they make a lot of money on solar power. They make a lot of money in general, and the country is being run by a woman. They have a low crime rate. It's a very liberal country. Why do you think Trump is attacking Denmark? For funsies? He wanted the January 6th insurrectionists free because they know that they're willing to get violent for him. Just really funny to me and stupid that the police would back him. And yes, I know there's a lot of police officers who are equally racist as the insurrectionists. I'm not saying all, but I'm not saying most. I'm just saying a lot of police officers have been exposed for being racist and being a part of racist group chats, because most of the insurrectionists came from white supremacist groups like the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys.
Me, and now you're getting arrested. Good fucking job, you idiot. Pathetic piece of Good job. You just assaulted me. Yeah, where's your mom? Where's Zuni?
Back up.
I already know that. But those people are also willing to attack the police. And finally, Trump backed out of the World Health Organization and ceased all contact between the FDA, CDC, and NIH during what might be the biggest, and I say biggest, outbreak of bird flu in this country's history. I think this country and one small country are the only countries that are not in the World Health Organization at this point, which is really pathetic. The price of eggs increased 36% just this week. And that's the first week of Trump's second term. Indiana reported that 370,000 birds died because of the bird flu. All those birds went to bird heaven. They went to poultry heaven. They kicked the bucket. 370,000 turkeys and chickens kicked the bucket because of bird flu. The price of eggs is going to keep rising. The price of eggs has been rising for decades. It doesn't matter which president is in office. We don't even know how many people have the bird flu in this country right now. And I think Trump wants that because last time he was in office and he didn't deal with COVID-19, we voted him out of office. We didn't vote him in again. Why? Because he wasn't actually dealing with COVID. There were millions of people dying. So, and he suggested that people inject themselves with bleach. That people inject their lungs with disinfectant. His words.
Or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that.
He actually bothered to say that at a press hearing. That's insane. That is insane. Trump literally said that he doesn't give a fuck about the price of eggs.
And one on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries.
Look, they got them up. I'd like to bring them down. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. You know, it's very hard, but I think that they will. I think that energy is going to bring them down. I think a better supply chain is going to bring them down.
He doesn't care that people are struggling to afford groceries. He doesn't care. So voting for Trump, if he didn't deal with COVID-19, what makes you think he's going to reduce the price of eggs? Especially if there's bird flu out there. He doesn't care about any pandemics. He's investing $500 billion of our money, taxpayer money. He wants to invest it in AI to control the media, no doubt. Because all these media organizations, they're too scared, they're too chicken shit to tell the full story of Trump. I remember watching NBC. They said that, they ranted and raved about Trump giving TikTok 90 days to stay in the country, 90 days to be active in the country.
President-elect Trump, just in the last few minutes, filing an amicus brief with the Supreme Court, asking them to press pause on the proposed TikTok ban. Now, remember, the court is set to hear arguments surrounding the law, which was passed by Congress and signed into law by President Biden. That's on January 10th. And the ban could kick in on January 19th. Now, if you're thinking about the calendar, yes, Trump's administration will take over the day after that law is supposed to take effect. And the filing states that he wants to, quote, resolve the issues at hand through political means. Let's go right to NBC's Aaron Gilchrist for more on this. So, Aaron, what does this tell us about Mr. Trump's thinking when it comes to solving the TikTok problem? And again, he's not the president right now. He doesn't become president until the day after this ban would take effect. So, I mean, what is the kind of legal merit for potentially actually stopping this?
Well, listen, President-elect Trump has said very clearly that he likes TikTok, that it played a big role in his campaign and in his election win this year. Just wants the court to pause the deadline while it considers this case, which would also give Trump a chance to find a political resolution, as you noted. And remember, this law had the bipartisan support that it needed to get through Congress. President Biden, as you said, signed it. That was back in April of this year.
Trump is the one in 2020. Or was he before that even? He is the one who wanted TikTok gone. He is the one who suggested that it be disallowed to be banned in this country. He is the one who wanted TikTok to be banned in this country. He even said in 2023, he even repeated it on Truth Social. Because Biden was talking about banning TikTok for national security as well. It was a bipartisan deal. He wanted to go through with it. Trump said on Truth Social that it was his idea. He wanted credit for it. So I don't understand why NBC didn't state that he is the one who caused TikTok to be banned in the first place. He's the one who suggested it. It's just infuriating. It's infuriating.